Hey guys, welcome back to the video, guys. I completely changed around my whole entire setup, so looks a little different, I know. Got Shadow Shosinko back there. I also got the Cincinnati Bengals helmet back there, but just kind of change it around. If you guys do not know, I also have guinea pigs right here, but beside the point. Today I want to go ahead and take a look at the snap count from last week's game. Kind of see where we're sitting and, you know, what we can take away from it. Because obviously last week's game, well, yes, it sucked. At least let's take away with what the team is going to do moving forward. Next week's game versus the Browns does not matter. Doesn't matter for the Browns, doesn't matter for us. If we lose, we actually get a better draft pick. But when it comes to the actual, mattering of the game in this season, it does not matter. So, hopefully, and I say hopefully as much as possible here, because we haven't seen this throughout the last, couple weeks, I hope we can actually start seeing some players like Chase Brown, like Chuck Sizzle, be incorporated more into the offense, because a loss in this game isn't going to completely shift anything for us for the season, right? If anything, again, like I said, it's if we lose, we actually are in a better situation. So let's talk about last week's game. So starting off right away, Chase Brown last week had 11 snaps total in that game. 15% of snaps. Now, one thing that the Bengals did go ahead and do in that game was they actually utilized him as a kick returner. Something we have not seen this whole entire season so far. He was the go-to kick returner. Now, before Chase Brown was a kick returner, it was actually going to be Trayon Williams. Well, it was for the longest time. Trayon Williams or Trenton Irwin. And now it ended up being that we used Chase Brown in that position, which I thought, whoa, okay, this is interesting. He's getting more of an expanded role. But with him getting more expanded role in kickoff return, they use him less as the actual straight running back for our team. And you can't really say we didn't have that many offensive drives. Alright guys, I gotta kick in real fast because I actually messed up in this part. I said we had 47 total offensive plays. We actually had 77. I was thinking of 47 because that's how many passing plays we had in this game. The rest were rushing, but we had 47 passing plays. So I actually messed up in this part. Just want to correct myself real fast. Let's go ahead and watch the rest of the video. Yeah, he only got 11 snaps on offense. So it's like they took him off offense to put him more in special teams. Which, with how that game flow went, 6 field goals, 6 kickoffs, plus a touchdown, 7 kickoffs in that game. Not usually do you have 7 kickoffs in a game. We utilize him mainly on kick returns and not on anything else, which I don't even think he had an actual technical kick return. But only 11 snaps in that game, 15% total. I don't know what has to give here, right? And again, maybe it's because of the fact that they think that, okay, 2 things. One, because we were trying to win the game. We were trying to go extra to try and win this game. So we wanted to, in their point of view, put in Joe Mixon because he gives us the best chance. I mean, we literally gave Trayon Williams 14% of the snaps last week. In the most crucial game of the season, we give Trayon Williams 14% of the snaps, which is the most snaps he had since week 12. And why is that the case? Because Chase Brown has been an absolute darling since week 12, because when he came back from his injury. So it's like we just took away Chase Brown, the guy who has the potential to bust away a touchdown on any play, give us the highest and best possible chance on offense to make a play happen. We took away that guy and put in Trayon. Now, if you remember this last offseason, I was talking very highly about Trayon Williams. I do love Trayon Williams, and I hope he can continue his career in the NFL. He's actually a really interesting person, by the way. You did not see my videos this offseason. He actually, I believe, in Texas this offseason, he was focusing on being the best running back possible, but he also is a professor at a university. Like, he does, I don't know if I believe he was the professor or he was helping professor at a university for law. So, yeah, this guy's really smart. Like, this guy is not just oh, you're a football player, haha, you're a good athlete. This guy is actually a really intellectual human being. So, just a little side note there. I do really like the guy. I love him as a person. I think he's a great person. I think he's a great guy. And as a player, I do like him a lot. But again, I want to see what's best for my team and for my longevity of this team. And longevity is giving the ball to Chase Brown. Longevity is giving as many snaps to Chase Brown as possible and kind of get him in that workflow. The best way to get better in the NFL is just get more snaps. Really, it's just more playtime, more situational football, learning more things. And I understand that we want to win, and in that game flow, how it was going, you know, against Zach Taylor, thought Trayon gives us the better chance to win. And I'm not going to go against, you know, Zach Taylor in that context if he truly believed in that aspect, give us the best chance to win. But my problem with that is that everything Trayon Williams can do, Chase Brown can also do. Pass blocking, they both can do. Catching the ball, they both can do. Honestly, I would say maybe Chase Brown's a better catcher already than Trayon. And then when it comes to running the ball, I think Chase Brown's better. So I would like to have seen a 25%, maybe 26% here. Or, sorry, 29%. My math's awful. Percent of the snap count going straight to Chase Brown here. I don't think Trayon needed to be in any way in that backfield. And to take him off kick return, which again, it's ironic here because this is pro Trayon here. Trayon's a pretty good kick returner. I've been making an argument on why he should be a punt returner as well, and we should use Chuck Sizzle on offense more and put Trayon in as punt and kick returner. He's a really good player at doing that. He has great hands. He's able to get in open space and make plays with his legs, and I really like him in the special teams unit. For some reason, we just don't want to utilize him on punt and kicks. I don't know why. Like, we had him as kick return for the longest time. Now they're trying to use Chase Brown there, which I guess maybe because they think Chase Brown's more explosive. But you would think the one position you would want to have someone more explosive at, it would be the backfield of your offense. The thing that has been struggling all year long. Not a kick and punt returner. Right? You would not want Chase Brown to be that, you know, kick and punt returner guy. You would want him to be strictly, again, your guy that you're utilizing for your backfield. So, I can never understand it. I try my best here, and I can never understand how much, you know, goes into this. But anyway, though, by the way, I do want to give a side note here. I completely butchered this. There was 47 offensive passing snaps, by the way. 47 offensive passing snaps. And rushing snaps was completely different. So rushing snaps, for example, there's 74 snaps total, but we had 47 of the offensive snaps was passing, and the rest were rushing. So just, you can do the math conversions there. So I apologize, I actually did mess that up real fast. I said 47 snaps on offense total. I meant pass blocking snaps. Rushing snaps, we had the completely different odd number. But anyway, though, taking a look down here at the wide receiver position, it's an age-old wonder. Will Chuck Sizzle ever get on the field on offense? And what really sucks about this game, right? Tyler Boyd played the second most snaps. He played more than T. Higgins because T. Higgins got hurt early in the game with a hamstring injury. And because he got hurt, Tyler Boyd played 70% of the snaps, which was almost equal to Jamar Chase. And you know what's funny here is when I looked at the snap count, I could have bet $1 million watching that game, maybe $2 million, that I would say that Tyler Boyd played less snaps than Chuck Sizzle. I felt like he played less snaps than Yoshi. I feel like he played less snaps than Trenton Irwin or T. Higgins. If you had to, before I looked at the snap count, if you said, hey man, $1 million, guess the percentage of snaps that Tyler Boyd played in that last game, I say, probably, I know for a fact that probably 70 to 80% was Jamar Chase. T. Higgins got hurt, so I'd probably say like 30, 40%. I was kind of off there. As you know, 41, that's kind of good. I would say Yoshi? No, Trenton Irwin, I would say at least 70%. I've seen him the whole entire game out there. Yoshi, I'd say probably 50, 60%. And if you told me Tyler Boyd, I'd say 20, maybe 25%. Maybe. I would be like, I think he was hurt or something. He just might have been hurt that game. Because, like, he didn't play any snaps. 69% of the snaps? Tyler, what were you doing? Were you playing snaps or were you just hiking the ball and, like, disappearing like you were going ghost or something? I am just baffled the fact he had 69% of those snaps. Because I felt like he was not out there. He had one great catch in the game. Outside of that, I felt like we could not even see him. Like, we didn't see him one time the whole entire game, and then he just magically showed up in the third quarter, and I'm like, oh, hey, he actually's playing some snaps now. Rest of the game, I'm going ghost. I don't get it, man. And then Chuck Sizzle, 0 snaps. The age-old, we're not going to give Chuck Sizzle the football. We're not going to give him offensive snaps. We're not going to give him on the field. It is what it is, man. And it sucks. It really does suck because I would love to see what Chuck Sizzle could give us on offense. They don't want to see it. They do not want to see it. Maybe this last week, with everything being done now, and potentially we'll see what could happen. Maybe they give Chuck Sizzle snaps, but I really don't think they will. I think we're going to go into next season with the same exact idea of this season. Chuck Sizzle, who is he? Well, he's a really good kick returner for us. Sorry, not kick return, punt returner. He's a decent punt returner who's had one really great punt return versus the Ravens, which was technically a penalty called back, which was not called. The penalty wasn't called in the end. It was picked up. And other than that, he's a guy who really just catches the football and runs to left or right and doesn't really do much on punt returns. And that's pretty much all we got. So, yeah. Idea of drafting a wide receiver this year, probably pretty high. Because if Yoshi really blossomed, and that was great. But if we lose Tyler Boyd, which we probably will, then we're going to have to replace Tyler Boyd as slot receiver. Yoshi's an outside guy. He can't be a slot. So now we need a new slot receiver. And Chuck Sizzle, clearly they don't want him. So we're going to probably have to see somebody else in there. And we'll see what pick we use. But we're going to be using a pick on a guy when we have a player on the roster. Second week that Irv Smith was a healthy scratch. This is, again, not surprising at all. Tanner Hudson has really taken over this team. Drew Sample did get the most snaps, and then it was Tanner Hudson, and then it was Mitchell Wilcox. But, yeah, Irv Smith, like, there is some picks, I think, like, the worst pick of all time, right? The worst free agent of all time has to be, what was it, Hainsworth? Albert Hainsworth, the Washington Commanders, way back in the day, when they signed him for all that money, and he was just a bust. And I'm not going to sit here and say Irv Smith was in any way close to that, because we only paid Irv Smith 1 year, $7-8 million. So it wasn't like we paid him. I think Hainsworth was like $60 million. Like, it was something ridiculous. But he's getting up there for the equivalent value of, like, what we expected to what we got back. Irv Smith was, like, completely on the same level as Albert Hainsworth. I would say like this, right? Because going into the season, Irv Smith, it was like, no. Okay, well, if he could stay healthy, he could be a top 5 player in the NFL. Like, if he could stay healthy, he could be one of the best tight ends in football. I don't know what they have in Minnesota or what kind of magic beans they were giving this guy to make him look that good. But he is not that good. And I'm like, every free agent we're losing this year, or potentially losing this year, I look at it and I'm like, oh, man, that sucks. I really wish we would keep him. I wish we had the money to keep that guy. I don't say that about Irv Smith. And by the way, I'm not attacking him as a human, as a person, as like a man. I hope he has the best career and he goes somewhere else and he's successful. But like, as a player on our team, I've never seen a player get signed, other than Albert Hainsworth, I feel like, and really contribute almost nothing. Now, he did have a touchdown for us. He did. He had a couple of catches overall-wise. He wasn't the worst thing ever. But I just feel like I've never looked at a player and said, yeah, man, I mean, if we cut him today, I don't think it would mean anything. Like, personally speaking here, okay, I'd rather keep La'el Collins than kept Irv Smith. I'd rather have kept La'el Collins. Which I still don't understand why we didn't keep him when we keep using Cody Ford as an extra offensive lineman. I don't get it, but... Anyway, though, B.J. Hill played 78% of snaps last week. Zach Carter, 39%. Josh, 48%. And Jay, 24%. Miles Murphy played 30% after coming off of a career high of 54%, which, to be honest, it's really disappointing and disheartening when they had a lot of long drives in that game, obviously, resulting in field goals. But they had a lot of long drives. And you would think if they have a lot of long drives, we're going to utilize Myles Murphy the most in that game, right? Because he is the guy who you would think he's a rookie, he's young. We have no DJ Reader out there. You have to utilize more packages with him. And no, I don't think they trust him. I don't think they trust him in there to be in there that many times throughout a game. Which, again, when you use a first-round pick on him, it's disappointing, but we'll see how he does next year. Hopefully, maybe sophomore year, some players blossom and take off. I hope that's the case. For snap count for corners, Cheeto and Cam Taylor-Litt, 100% both. And Jordan Battle played 87% of the snaps, which is his second highest this year, which is very nice. And Nick Scott played 8 snaps, and yeah, we're going to have him for another 2 years on the contract. I'm not sure if we can get out of that contract. I believe we can. But no, I think it's actually $12 million guaranteed, so we'd literally lose money. So I think we'll just keep him. I don't really think there's anything to do there till it doesn't hurt us to have Nick Scott on the roster, if anything, on special teams at this point. But guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. You know, it was a fantastic season, okay? I really did love this season. I love this team. I know a lot of people have come to my videos and said, oh, they're done with the Bengals, or they're upset with the Bengals, and this is an awful team, and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. You know, that's part of football, though. That's why you love football. Not every year is going to be your year, right? We lost Joe this year, and it sucked. We lost DJ Reader this year, and it sucked. We dealt with probably more adversity, I feel like, than many other teams in the NFL. And, you know, we just got to back our boys, get back to work, and get ready for next season. And it sucks to say that, but you know what? There are Bengals. There are Cincinnati Bengals, man. We're Who Dey Nation. We support our team. We stay by our team. Through thick and thin. It's Who Dey to the end. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.